Hello and welcome back to Pharma E-Class. I am Anindya Goswami from Smriti College of Pharmaceutical Education, and we were discussing mixing in the past few classes. We had discussed the basic theory about mixing, the different classifications of the different types of mixings, and now it is time for the mixers. So in this class we'll discuss about the classification and types and the description of different types of mixing equipments or mixers. So a short recap. It is the process can be defined as an operation in which two or more components in a separate or roughly mixed condition are treated so that each particle lies nearly as possible as in contact with the particle of the other material. So this is the perfect mixing we can call. And this process is being involving solid, semi-solid, gases, liquids, and in between the liquids there are miscible liquids as well as immiscible liquids, and as well as mixing of solids with liquids. So two basic terms we have to constantly go through in this chapter, that is the term of mixing as well as the term blending. So the term mix means to put together in one mass, and the term blend means to mix smoothly and inseparably together, during which a minimum energy is imparted to the powder bed. Basically, these two terms are associated with solid mixing. As we will move further, we'll see. But mixing means to put together in one mass, and the term blending means mixing smoothly where with a minimum energy is imparted to the bed. Bed means where the powder bed, where the sample bed. So mixing and blending are two very common terms used in the industries. First, we are coming to the mixing of solids. So let us see what is the basic mechanisms of solid mixing. So basically two solids get mixed by three basic principles, that is convective mixing, shear mixing, and diffusive mixing. So let us come to convective mixing. What is that? So a relatively large mass of material is moved from one part of the powder bed to another part. This particular thing is called convection. Depending on the type of mixer employed, convective mixing can occur by an inversion of the powder bed by means of the blades, or by means of paddles, or by means of revolving screw. So entirely the powder bed, the solid where the raw materials, maybe two or three or maybe many, as much as the ingredients are of that particular formulation, they are completely, their powder bed is rotating, and the powder bed is constantly, it is mixed with the help of different types of attachments, maybe blades, maybe paddles, or maybe some screw type of attachments also. So that is convective mixing. Next is shear mixing. So shear means force. As a result of forces within the particular mass, slip planes are set up, and shear occurs in a direction normal to the interface of such layers is also effective, since it reduces the scales of segregation. Shear means the application of good amount of force so that segregation possibilities, or the scale of segregation, is somewhat reduced. So shear mixing is quite effective where we have large chunks of materials, or large particle size materials, or large volume of materials. So we have to apply some good amount of force for that particular mixing purpose. And the third or the last one is diffusive mixing. Mixing by diffusion occurs when random motion of particles within a particle bed causes them to change position relative to one another. Where the particle beds, they causes this motion of the particles inside the particle bed causes them to change position relative to one another, and diffusive mixing occurs at the interfaces of the dissimilar regions that are undergoing that shear or that force, and therefore they also result from shear mixing. So basically the basic mechanism of diffusive mixing is that it is also being done with the generation of the shear, but this occurs when the particles, they change their, within the powder bed or within the bed of the solid, they change position with relative to one another, and this diffusive mixing occurs at the interfaces or the surface between the two particles, that is the interface between the dissimilar region where different types of particles are there, different regions are there, and that particular place that shear is being generated and hence mixing is occurring. Let us come to the factors which affect solid mixing. A number of factors, some affect largely, but some also have some very small contributions as well. Let us see what are the factors. First and foremost, particle size. Yes, the variation of particle size can lead to separation because small particles move downwards to the spaces between the bigger particles. And the powders with a mean particle size of less than 100 micrometers are free flowing, that those they facilitate mixing. So whenever we have to mix a substance properly, it is advisable that the particle size should be reduced to a particular particle size, so that the mixing is being done. If all are dissimilar one, some ingredients are having a big particle size, some particles are having very small particle size, then there is a problem. It can happen and separation can occur. Next, particle shape. Yes, this is also another important factor. The ideal particle size is spherical. So it is also a necessity that we make the particle size into a spherical one, because of the or the rough surfaces of the particle, or the rough particle shape. If it is not perfectly spherical, then there can be some difficulties. So it is also a factor. Next, the nature of the surface. Rough surfaces are of the components does not induce satisfactory mixing. So these 2 points are linked, the particle shape as well as the nature of the surface. If it is a perfectly spherical one, then it is uniform mixing, that is okay, that is ideal for uniform mixing. And if the particle surfaces are rough, then also that uniform mixing is not does not happen readily. Next, the density of the particles. This is also important, because demixing is accelerated when the density of the smaller particles is higher, or when the mixing process is stopped abruptly in between. So that is also a particular point. Next, there is particle charge. Some particle, they exert some attractive forces due to some electrostatic force of attraction, and so if the electrostatic force of attraction is stronger, then the particles tend to segregate or separate. So that can be a problem. So these two are quite minor factors, but they somehow affect the mixing, solid mixing. And obviously the proportion of the material, all the mix to be done, all the raw materials, if it is taken in equal volume or maybe equal proportion by weight, then the mixing we can get the result in a proper way. And if it is not, then the mixing cannot be very uniform. So best results are obtained if two powders are mixed in equal proportion by weight and maybe equal proportion by volume. So let us come to the solid mixing equipments. So we will classify the equipments in three basic ways. First and foremost, so classification of equipments for solid mixing. Solid mixing, where powders are involved for the preparation of different types of powder, that include powders which is to be inserted inside capsules, or powders which can be granulated into a tablet, or be given as a simple powder or compound powder, or different types of powder for internal or external use. So we need suitable blenders, where we know the term blending, where we mix very gently with minimum force, very low force, and we have also mixers. So these are the classification of equipments for solid mixing. First and foremost, based on flow properties. If we are employing free flowing solid, we can apply V-cone blender, or we can employ double cone blender. These two are classic equipments which is done in solid mixing. Next, if we have cohesive solid, what are the cohesive solids? Cohesive solids are sticky solids, which is sticking a bit, having quite sticky type of nature. They are joined together, attached together. So to break the lumps, we need force. So that is being done by Sigma blender, different types of blade attachments, and planetary mixers. So these are important category of blenders and mixers. And based on scale of mixing, how it is being done, it is done in batch style, that is in small scale we can do batch size, small scales of powder particles, So if you are employing batch type, then it can be a mortar pestle also. We can employ V-cone blender, we can employ double cone blender, we can employ ribbon blender, sigma blender, planetary mixer, fluidized mixer. These are all small scale or batch type of mixers or blenders. And if we have to employ continuous type for large scale production, then barrel type mixers and zigzag type of mixtures are into play. Another mode of classification is which is based on the mechanism of mixing, how it is done, the mixing is happening how. So we have 6 basic type of mixture. Almost the mixtures are common, which have already we know the names before. So this is nature of the mixer, examples and mechanism of mixing. Let us see one by one. First one is the batch type, which is the basic laboratory which you must have, all we must have used. That is, this is mortar pestle, and the mechanism of mixing is trituration, as we have already studied in our previous classes. So batch type, mortar pestle mixer, that is also a mixture, very small scale, lab scale, and the mechanism is trituration. Next, tumbling mixture with no mixing blades. We have V-cone blender, we have double cone blender. Well, what is the action? It is tumbling action. Tumbling means when the powder bed is rotated from this position to entirely to that particular position, the powder bed is rotated upside down. That is called as tumbling action. Same mixers if we provide with mixing blades. So tumbling mixture with mixing blades, that is a third type of mixers. V-cone blender, double cone blender with mixing blades. So what is the action? What is the mechanism? Tumbling action as well as shearing action with blades. Provision of attachment within these systems like blades or some bars or some it provides lot of shear, because the powder, if there are lumps also and if there is a huge volume of powder, they first go and collide with those blades. So if there are a formation of lumps, those lumps will be break down with the help of the blades. So mixing efficiency increases. So if we are doing the mixing at a large volume and we have some lumps of particles which is not can be done by simple blenders, so we can employ the blenders with tumbling action and the other blenders with mixing blades. Next are static mixtures. Static means fixed or stagnant. So the entire mixer does not rotate in this case. The mixture is fixed. The attachment inside the mixture, they'll move, they'll rotate or they'll move. So static mixture examples are ribbon blender, planetary mixer and sigma blender, where the trough or the tray or inside which the solvent, the solute is to be taken, the powders are to be taken, that is fixed, that attachment is fixed. And ribbon blender and planetary mixer and sigma blender all are unique type of mixture which we will study later on. And what is the mechanism? Stationary shell with rotating blade. So the trough or the basic attachment is stationary, fixed, static. What rotates are the rotating blades. Next, air mixtures or fluidized mixtures, where through the air energy, through high forced when air is being sent at a high velocity, the solids are being thrown into the fluidized state. Probably we have studied in the fluidized bed dryer. So that type of mixture is air mixture or fluidized mixture, where with the help of air, the particles very small in size, a batch type of process may be, or very minute particle size particles, they can be done with the help of fluidized mixture, where the supported, what is the mechanism? Air supported blending. So air in the particles are thrown in the gust of air and the particles collide with one another and obviously they get mixed. So air supported blending, it is a blending at a low energy but the velocity of the air should be higher. So that is a blending, the mechanism. And continuous type, where we have to go on adding the powders, the samples, and we have to go on employing the machine. So barrel type and zigzag type of machine, that is also common for large scale production. So what is the principle, what is the mechanism? Rotating shell with rotating blades. So they can rotate, the shell is also rotating, the blades are also rotating, the entire mixer is rotating, and inside the mixture some attachments, some blades or some attachments are there, they are also rotating. So high shear but in a continuous mode. So the barrel type of mixture and the zigzag type of mixers are there. Let us come to a basic mixture, that is V-cone blender with, maybe it can be with mixing blades and cannot be without, be also it can also be without mixing blades. So this is the basic construction, a very simple construction, just like the alphabet V. You can see this is actually the blender. I'll show you the actual diagram. This is the outline of the machine. So it is, this shaft is attached with it, and there is a motor connection also, and where there are blades with the shaft, the blades can also be fixed. So it is a V shape and made up of stainless steel or transparent plastic. Material is loaded through shell hatches and is loaded approximately up to 50 to 60% of the volume. We don't have to fill 100% of the volume. Why? Because we have to make some, we have to leave some spaces in between the particles and the side walls, so that when this blade, this mixture will rotate, the particles will collide and particles will get mixed properly. Next, for small scale models up to 20 kg, the rotation is at 35 rpm, and for large models, for maybe 1 ton of powder which you are mixing, so it rotates at around 10 rpm. Next, as the blender rotates, the powder material undergoes tumbling action. I have explained to you what is tumbling action, where the entire, suppose you have kept the powder bed here. Now if this is rotating, so entire mixture is rotating and the entire powder bed is lifted from a single position to another position. That is called as tumbling action. When V is inverted, the material splits into two portions. This is also another important or another advantage of this type of mixtures, where there are large chunks of particles. So when we are keeping inside this thing, it is being separated into two basic portions. So large chunks may be broken down. A bar containing blades that rotate in a direction opposite to that of the twin shell often is used to improve the agitation of the powder bed. Yes, with this shaft we can attach some blades, which I will show later on what are the different attachments can be attached with this, and even those blades can rotate separately, and the mixer will rotate on its own on a separate motion. So if we want to impart more and more shear to this, we can do such type of V-cone blenders.